Yeah, you keep the person guessing and you always keep them doubting, right? As you mentioned, the roller coaster where it's like, it's good today, bad tomorrow, good today, then you're thinking, might be good tomorrow, so that's why I will stay. But as you mentioned, and as I was touched on it, that's where the support system comes in because there's some times where we aren't strong enough individually. We need that collective strength. And I'm glad that you're able to get it because in the second situation that you mentioned, there's a lot of people, and I'll let you answer this, that will say, well, there's times I've had sex when I didn't want to,
Hmm.
right? So, and that's, I don't want to say it's old school of thinking because we've probably, and I'll let you speak on this as well. There's times where each and every one of us have been intimate when we didn't 100% want to. Now, I don't mean that the person has taken it from us, right? I mean that there's sometimes where we come home from, let's say, a long day of work, and and our partner is in the mood, and we're like, okay, let's do this, right? If you're not 100% in it, but let's say about 95, 90. I think everyone has done that where they've kind of gone through with it because one, they're going to enjoy it, but they're enjoying it because their partner's enjoying it. But in your situation, that's different. And I want to make that distinction. This is someone taking it versus someone saying, okay, I want to be a part of this, even though I might be a little tired, maybe a part of me is not in the mood, but overall, this is something that I'm consenting to.
Right. So the key word here is consent, right? So if you're in an intimate relationship with somebody and you really don't want to have sex and they're kind of nagging, that's not okay. But if you're in a relationship and they really want to have sex and you're like, okay, I'll do it, it's different because there's consent, there's verbal consent. Um, Something I kind of want to highlight because it came up for a little while a couple of years ago and then disappeared. Have you ever heard of stealthing?
I have not. What is that?
So stealthing is when you consent to have sex with somebody using a condom, and then in the middle or towards the end of the sex or the interaction, they remove the condom without verbalizing it or telling you. And so when you do that, and then it's a means of control. And so when you do that, or when somebody does that to you, that is sexual assault because once they remove the condom, which is what you consented to, then they consent is removed. And so that's something I feel like isn't talked about enough. But to get back to your point, the biggest misconception about sex is consent needs to be there. Like if there's no consent, there's no sex. That is sexual assault. Um, Whether to the partner or stranger, a friend's with benefit, a friend, whoever, it needs to be consenting on both parties and from the beginning. Once nagging or coercion or manipulation is involved, even if there is a yes, it's still a no, because initially there was no consent, and manipulation and coercion does not consent make.